Okay. This is going to be a video response to my favorite racist um, troll in the YWC. He's really fantastic. I love him. He's actually very funny. Wrestling Jesus. I'm going to call myself Smoking Jesus as a tribute to his stellar work in pissing everyone off, whether it be 9/11 victims or Americans or black people. He's just brilliant. He pisses off white people, gay people, straight people, whoever he wants. It's all up for it. So great. Smoking Jesus here, and this is going to be a video on The Rock and his current status in the WWE, and the whole thing of a lot of people hating on The Rock. Okay, so I'm going to try and be reasonable here. I am a huge Rock fan. I do like The Rock a lot. But I don't think he's been doing his best work since he came back. However, I think for people to discredit the body of work he did in the late 90s and early 2000s because of what he's doing now, which isn't that great, is just absolutely ridiculous. So I want to deal with some of the questions that have come up, like why has The Rock come back? Is it for the money? And why is he burying people like CM Punk? Shouldn't he have lost it to him? Why is he coming on every week just for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, and then he's not defending the title? And why is he? Well, the one that I actually agree with is why is he cutting such lame promos, which I don't understand. I think I saw one of the worst promos I've ever seen of his. I mean, it was better than other people's, but of his, the week where he presented that really horrible, ugly belt as a replacement to the spinner belt. I mean, that was pretty bad, and I think he was so poor in that, and especially because you think, wow, this is a guy who had people in the palm of his hands before. How can he have come to this? So it was just really, it was really quite poor. I think I heard 3 people in the crowd saying Rocky, Rocky, and that was it. And he was there, just standing there as if nothing was happening. It was almost a John Cena moment. I really did feel embarrassed. So I'm going to address that right, I think, at the end of the video, like his current performance in the WWF and how people should respond to it, and possibly a solution that I see is really simple to fix it. So start off with burying people. This one I really don't get. I mean, I have this impression that people think, there's this mantle that's passed on from each icon to each icon. They see like Hulk Hogan lost to The Rock. Ultimate Warrior lost to Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan lost to Ultimate Warrior. Stone Cold supposedly passed the torch on to The Rock as well, or something like that, and therefore The Rock should pass it on to Cena and to CM Punk. Now, here's the issue with this, right? If you're talking about tradition, it has almost always been a tradition that you know, the if you're passing on the torch to someone in the WWF, you're saying, okay, this is the new guy, you know, the former guy is coming and passing on the torch. It hardly ever happens just like, oh, he's going to beat him straight off. Plus, that would have pissed off a lot of people if either Cena or CM Punk had have beaten The Rock. No one would have wanted to pay to see that. And if they got the sense that that was going to happen, or if, you know, it did happen, I think it would have damaged the WWE. Plus, there's, you know, there are a lot more Rock fans than CM Punk fans, unfortunately. For CM Punk fans, I understand why they like this guy to some extent. I don't think he's an icon or a household name yet, and I don't think he's the face of the company really like he thinks he is. I think he's kind of, and CM Punk fans are deluding themselves. But The Rock is an absolute cultural icon. He unified people across the board, you know, white, black, young, old, you know, whoever. He is a true cultural icon. He's now catapulted himself from wrestling to the movie industry from his popularity, which is absolutely unheard of in the WWE. So the guy has a lot more of a fan base. As bad as it seems to a lot of people that, okay, well, he's only you know, he wins and then he's only defending his title against Cena and possibly CM Punk, I'm not sure, in the future. But the fact is, you know, he deserves everything he's got. He has done so many jobs for people in past. He jobbed for Hurricane Helms. He jobbed for Brock Lesnar. He's even jobbed for Mankind, where Triple H wouldn't job for Mankind. People realize that he was the one who propelled Mankind, and then by tag teaming with him as well, again propelled him not just as a hardcore legend, but allowed him to show his charisma as well, and to show that he was dangerous by actually beating The Rock, whereas Triple H wouldn't do that. And there you go, a legend is born, a legend is made. You know, the same goes for Brock Lesnar. Again, he passed the torch to him. When Stone Cold Steve Austin absolutely refused to. And Stone Cold's one of my favorites, and I possibly think he was even right about, like, not, you know, wanting to drop it in the way that the WWE was suggesting he drop his mantle as the man to Brock Lesnar. But there we go, here are the facts. The Rock has been a consummate professional his whole life. He's never had an ego about the WWE. He's jobbed to people, and I think he deserves a triumphant comeback. Are they doing the triumphant comeback as they should do? Possibly not. That's something I will come into right at the end of the video. I don't think they're using The Rock in the best way, and I think, to be honest, he's proven everything. So he doesn't. It's not so much he's lost it. I mean, it's like you guys, you know, like, it's like saying, you know, Radiohead or Eminem were never good rappers or musicians because their albums now suck. I'm not saying their albums suck. I haven't listened to like their latest albums, but their albums now were not as good as when they were hungry and really wanted it, you know, and really propelled themselves to stardom. Obviously, they're not going to be as good as them. And I think The Rock is suffering that problem. He just has nothing else to prove. And even some of the promos he did against John Cena were quite good, actually. So back to the thing. We'll get back to that right at the end of. I think this is going to be a two-part. defense of The Rock. So, is he doing it for the money? Now, this one is a puzzling one. I really don't get why people are saying he's doing it for the money. One, so what if he's doing it for the money? What, do you think these guys are your friends? Do you think these guys go out there and have immense talent and put their bodies on their line just to make you happy? No, they do it for money, obviously. But having said that, I actually genuinely think this is one of the occasions where The Rock is to some extent doing it for the fans. Obviously he's getting paid, but I think to some extent he is doing it for the fans, because the guy is one of the biggest action movie stars in Hollywood at the moment. He really can make the money he's making at the WWE in one movie. I mean, I hate to repeat what everyone has said before. Also, this notion that he's promoting his movies, that's why he's come back to the WWE. The man doesn't need to promote his movies on the WWE. There's shows with far higher ratings where he can promote his movies. It doesn't make any sense that he'd promote it on WWE, where the ratings are so low. At least when he came there, they were incredibly low before he came back. So again, there's no need for him to promote his movie. He could go on Jay Leno or any of these other shows with much higher ratings, and he gets so much flack for say he did promote his movie. Mick Foley comes in every time he writes a book, and he promotes his book on WWE and then goes to TNA afterwards. So nobody says anything about that. I don't get it. He literally comes on and gets these cheap pops. And again, Mick Foley is one of my favourites of all time, so this isn't having a go at him. I'm just trying to compare. And why doesn't he get this flack? He comes on, he promotes his movie. I've just recently watched a Raw where it was just a blatant promotion of his book, and that was the only reason he came back. And it was just a plug of his book, and nobody says anything to him. Okay, so he didn't, but he doesn't go for the championship, or he doesn't, take time from the new talent. The fact is, Rock having the championship, right? Here's another contradiction in your logic. So, first of all, The Rock is taking time from the new talent. You complain about that. He's taking time from the new talent. But then you complain that he doesn't come onto the show to defend the title enough. So he's only on the show 5 minutes. So in fact, he's not taking time from the new talent. In fact, he's keeping viewers who are fans of his, which are a large group, a large demographic. And he's taking those fans, and they're waiting to see the last 10 minutes of the show to see what The Rock's up to. And in between, he's giving the spotlight to the younger talent. Then The Rock is gaining from the WWE, and that's a fact. That's a fact. The guy's kicking over 70 million, in revenue. I mean, he's grossed billions of dollars in his movies. I don't really get this notion that that The Rock is coming there to promote to the 1 million people who are watching the show, or I don't know how much it is. It's probably less. And the pay-per-view buy rates again for the last WrestleMania, highest ever. So The Rock has put more eyes on the current talent. Sorry. Part 2 will say what I think is the problem with The Rock and the way they're using him and how they can change it. Yeah. Thank you. That was Smoking Jesus. Yeah.